What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're going to be installing a product that's going to step up your night wheeling game. Now, I'm sorry about all the acoustics in the garage today. We've had some horrible storms coming through Kansas City, and for the last 3 days it's just been raining nonstop. So if it's a little echoey in here, I do apologize. But today we're going to be installing the all-new Lux rock lights. These rock lights are hand built in the United States, right out of Salem, Oregon. When Lux Lights made these, they really had you, the consumer, in mind. The simplicity of install is just phenomenal. You don't have to drill anything. They're just 100% magnetic, and these magnets are super strong. Let me tell you, they will not fall off no matter what abuse you give them. I've had these on my Jeep now for about 3 years. Now, with that being said, a couple of the lights, they did quit working. That could be a wiring issue. I'm not sure exactly. I haven't dove into it, but I did reach out to Lux. They warrantied it, and they went ahead and they sent me their brand new setup for Jeeps. So I'm really excited to get these on. Thank you, Lux. I do appreciate it. Now, with that being said, Lux has a huge variety of lights as well. They've got anywhere from red, blue, white, green, yellow, orange, all different colors, and they've got their all new RGB color changing lights. They also have a new product out that if you don't have an S-Pod, they have a junction block that you can wire everything into and control with the switch, so you can have kind of that S-Pod feel through Lux without actually buying an S-Pod. So really cool product. I'm really excited to get this on. Now, another thing I'm excited about is we're getting ready to head out to Disney, Oklahoma for the Crawl for Christ annual event. Every year, Crawl for Christ throws an awesome event down there, and it is 24/7 wheeling all day, all night long. So I'm really going to be able to take these lights and put them to their paces as I'm out there at night trying to get over some obstacles. Now, one of the big benefits of having rock lights, everybody says, well, I've got a light bar, I've got pod lights, I've got my LED headlights. When you're spotting at night, you can't see the tires. The other thing is, if your spotter is trying to spot you and you have your LED lights blinding right in their face, they can't see what's going on. So with these rock lights, you can turn off all of your other lights, you can flip on just your rock lights, and there you can trust your spotter to get you through any obstacle. So let's go ahead, let's open up this package, let's check this new product out, and let's get Warpig in the garage and start installing this. Guys, so with the new Lux light system built specifically for the Jeep JKs, they've daisy chained all the lights together. So you start with the back, you just snap this into place of where you want it. It continues right on to the next light and so forth. Everything's just wired together, so you have a whole lot less wires going into your S-Pod. With their previous model, that's the one thing I didn't like. Everything was an individual 2-wire setup, so you ended up having about 24 wires going into the S-Pod, and it just really made a cluster of everything. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what that looked like. As you can see right here is where all my previous Lux wires are wired into the S-Pod. There's just a ton of wires running to this. I ended up having to dedicate 2 of my switches just to be able to fit all the wires in there. And even then, it's probably completely overcrowded. So with this new system, it should simplify everything. We should be able to reduce all this down into one switch. And we're gonna go ahead, yank all of this out, get all the old lights off, and then we'll start wiring up the new ones. So the first thing you're gonna do is just start at the back of the Jeep. You're gonna get the end, of course, that doesn't have a wire return to it, and then it just snaps right here on the back of the frame rail. The one thing with this kit, with the measurements, you do have to run all the wiring on the bottom of the frame rail for everything to match up and for the lengths to work. So you're just going to snap this in the back you're going to start working your way down the bottom of the frame. You will have to run it in and out of the brake lines and so forth, but just follow the bottom of the frame line and then just snap them into place as you go. All right, you guys, so we've got that ran down the back of the frame rail. Next we come to the second mount location. Literally just goes right on the body mount. Now I'm running the Poison Spider rock sliders, so my body mounts are covered. So I'm just going to attach this to the bottom of the rock slider, and again, just snaps into place. You take this extra, run it on down until you run out of slack, and then just go ahead and snap that into the next location, and then we'll run this up to the front of the frame mount and then run it up to the S-Pod. So as you can see, super simple install. We'll go back, we'll kind of tighten all these up with zip ties and stuff like that to get rid of the loose wire. Now the one thing I'm not too happy about is with this set to length, you can't hide the wires like you could on the old one, but it is what it is. Now that we've got everything ran through the front of the frame, we're just going to go ahead and mount up the last location. It just goes right up front here. Now I have the Hard Rock package. This kit was designed for a Sahara or a Sport edition, so it's actually measured out to go to the front of the frame, not the skid plate. Since I do have the factory skids here, I've got to kind of adjust accordingly to that, and then I just mount it right here on the bottom of the skid. It does give me a little bit of a hindrance with the actual length of wire, but I think this is going to work just fine. So we'll take this extra length of wire, we're going to run it right up through the inside of the frame here, up to the S-Pod. Once we're done with that, we're going to go ahead and install the fender well lights. So for the fender wells, kind of same kit as before. You've got your back one that doesn't have a lead coming from it, so you're going to go ahead and snap that into place. Now with mine, I've got the aluminum fenders and I've taken out the plastic fender well. So I've got to snap this just onto the body on the inside of the fender here. Now there's a hole that's right back here in the back side of your fender well. You can actually run all the wires down through that. It'll just hide everything nicely. Comes right down through the bottom. Run it down to the frame and you'll get all the way to the other end. And then this one will connect up to your front fender well. They've actually got this split. So this will connect in. You can run the wire back and hide it. And then this side will just go up to your S-Pod. And it's as simple as that. We're going to go ahead. I've already got this one installed on this side and ran through that hole. So I'm going to go ahead, zip tie it down the frame. We'll go up to the front fender. I'll show you how that one attaches. And then we'll get this wired into the S-Pod and see how it all looks. We've got everything ran from the back wheel well up to the front now. I've got everything zip tied and hidden nicely. So we just take the last light and it just snaps into place right here on this steel bracket. Every Jeep will have this steel bracket unless if you cut it off for some reason, but it just goes right there, gives a nice light source right at the top of your tire. We're going to go ahead and run everything up to the S-Pod, and then I'll show you just how clean of an install that makes it. So as you can see, we have simplified down all that wiring. We had the 2 clusters originally going to 2 switches, and now we've just got 4 wires going to the positive, 4 wires going to the negative. It simplifies everything. So that's the reason why I went with this new kit, and it's up to you what you would like to use, but with this new kit designed specifically for Jeeps, it just really makes everything a nice clean install. All right, you guys, now that we've got all the same steps completed on the passenger side of the vehicle, it's time to check this out. I'm going to go ahead and shut off all the lights in my garage and turn on those rock lights just so you can see what they look like and see if this is the choice for you and your rig for the trails. Alright guys, so that's it. That's the Lux Lighting system. Again, a quick, easy install. The magnets are just awesome to work with, and they're very durable, and they'll hold up to any abuse you can give them on the trail. If you guys like this video, please hit that subscribe button down below. I'll be posting a link to all of the Lux Lighting products in the description down below, and hit that bell notification for more and upcoming videos. We'll see you guys on the trail.